The Genius Club with Prairie Pine. Chapter 76. The Laws of Time and Space. That's right. It's the laws of time and space. This term, which Alex came up with in a flash of inspiration, felt very appropriate to him. There must be many, many more laws of time and space, many that I haven't perceived, noticed, or reasoned out yet. But so far, the only ones I can comprehend are three. He picked up his pen again and wrote down the 3 laws of time and space he had summarized on the paper. The laws of time and space. 1. Time, space, butterfly effect. Any action at the current time point will continue to affect history in the hundreds of years to come. In turn, it will trigger changes, big or small, in the future world. Small changes are imperceptible, while big ones can subvert the world. 2. Time-space change. Due to human intervention in history, the original historical direction will be disrupted, leading to changes in the future world. Such changes are called time-space changes. It is worth mentioning that time-space changes are uncontrollable. 3. Time change anchor. A time and event that is already irreversible and can trigger observable time-space changes is called a change anchor. Alex looked at the 3 summarized laws of time and space. He felt that something was missing. He carefully reviewed them and found the descriptions of the first time-space butterfly effect and the third change anchor had a certain conflict. Will every single thing really inevitably trigger a time-space change? Alex thought this was impossible. If every little thing was enough to trigger a future time-space change, then his dream would not have remained unchanged for 23 years. His consecutive 3-year victory in the Youth Urban Parkour League was a clear act of changing reality, but it did not stir the slightest ripple in the future world. The world 600 years later did not change because of Alex's small achievements. Alex looked at the water cup on the desk, which had half a glass of water. He began to think, would drinking this sip of water have any impact on the future world 600 years later? Of course not. Alex was very sure. Unless I drink a ton of water now, then I would die directly, or if I was rescued, I wouldn't live long. In that case, I might not get married or have children, and the Alex family bloodline would end with me. The Alex family scientists who were supposed to be born in the future would be gone, and the Alex family criminals who were supposed to harm the world would also be gone. That would indeed trigger a time-space change. So, this is a problem of quantitative change leading to qualitative change. Not every time-space butterfly effect is strong enough to affect the future hundreds of years later. Small things like washing your face, brushing your teeth, or taking a bath will be gradually smoothed out and diluted over 600 years of time and space, leaving no waves. Therefore, another supplementary clause needed to be added to the laws of time and space. Alex picked up his pen and continued to write the 4th law of time and space. 4. Time-space elasticity. Time and space themselves have a certain degree of elasticity. Not every time-space butterfly effect will trigger a time-space change. It takes accumulated changes to a certain extent or sufficiently strong changes in reality to break through time-space elasticity, trigger a time-space change, and affect the future world. Alex guessed that the longer the time scale, the greater the time-space elasticity should be, and the less likely it is to change. This elasticity is also a kind of inertia, which will be smoothed out by a sufficiently long time span and become less sensitive. But the conclusion of inertia was not necessarily accurate, so Alex did not write it down. That's all for now. Alex capped his pen. Time-space butterfly effect, time-space change, change anchor, time-space elasticity. These were the 4 laws of time and space that Alex had currently comprehended. In the future, he might comprehend more laws, which would depend on how deep his exploration of the dream could go. Perhaps these laws, on the scale of time and space, are weapons no less powerful than airplanes, tanks, and artillery. Alex closed his eyes and began to imagine, how difficult would it be to bomb the entire EC city to the ground with airplanes, tanks, and artillery, and set back human technology to the level of the 1980s and 1990s and 1990s. It would be extremely difficult. It was not just a matter of how much ammunition was needed. Even if nuclear bombs were used to flatten EC City, technology would always recover. Moreover, if the enemy really had this idea, they would have to ask the country's defense capabilities first. With such strong air and coastal defense capabilities, how could you let airplanes and tanks flatten East Sea? But the laws of time and space, this kind of time-space weapon, was different. It was a war without gunsmoke. You couldn't see where the enemy was, didn't know who the enemy was, and couldn't even defend against the enemy's attacks at all. Time-space weapons could fire 600 years ago, easily change history and the future with the laws of time and space, making you impossible to defend against. Just like the question just now. How difficult is it to break through various defense lines and flatten EC City? For someone who masters time-space weapons and the laws of time and space, it is not difficult at all. A single paper by Ethan is enough. This is a war on the scale of time and space. Alex looked at the short 4 lines of text on the manuscript and felt the huge power to destroy the world. This is a time-space weapon that only I possess. He had a sudden thought. Since his time-space weapon accidentally set back the future world's technology by decades, maybe it could be reversed, making the future world change again, making technology led by decades, or even hundreds of years. An interesting attempt. Alex crumpled the written manuscript into a ball, threw it into the baking pan, and lit it with a lighter. But time-space changes are uncontrollable. If I don't want to do good things but end up causing harm, I still need to first figure out the truth about the technological regression in the dream world. Technological regression cannot happen for no reason. There must be some special reason. Alex believed. As long as the number of laws of time and space comprehended and mastered was sufficient, maybe one day it would really be possible to control the time-space butterfly effect to a certain extent, making time-space changes a controllable thing. Phoo. The flames danced. Every flame jumped in an unpredictable direction. Alex planned to enter the dream early tomorrow afternoon to find out everything in the dream as soon as possible. The next day, while Alex was working in the office, he received a call from his counselor during his university days. He was quite surprised. That male counselor had started working at the school after graduating with a master's degree. All regular teachers had to start as counselors. Because he was very young, he got along well with the students. Alex had a good relationship with his counselor during university, and he wondered what he wanted. As soon as he answered the call, the counselor congratulated Alex happily. Cat is really popular now, Alex, especially among female college students. It's extremely popular. By the way, do you have time these days, Alex? The freshmen of our college that I'm in charge of this year are very excited after learning that Ryan Cat was designed by a senior from the college. I was so proud that I directly boasted, saying I would invite you to give a small lecture in our college to see if you can share some experience with the juniors and seniors in the field of IP image design. Alex smiled helplessly after hearing this. It was true that Ryan Cat was very popular, but he didn't design it himself. What experience could he share? At most, he could share the posture of sleeping. But the counselor was very insistent, asking him to establish prestige in front of the freshmen. Alex agreed. How about tomorrow afternoon? Okay, tomorrow afternoon is a good time. Because Alex planned to enter the dream early this afternoon to explore, he made an appointment for the small lecture at tomorrow afternoon. After hanging up the phone, Alex sighed. Since he had agreed, he had to prepare well. He picked up the black notebook on the desk, sketched a speech outline on it, and planned to take this notebook to the lecture tomorrow to speak from it. After finishing his work, Alex went home early to prepare to enter the dream. He checked the time. It was not yet 6 o'clock. If he entered the dream now, he would have a full 7 hours of exploration time, which was quite ample. After a simple wash, he lay down on the bed. He fell asleep. In this new dream, the summer was still hot, but there was no feeling of the sweltering summer wind at all, probably because there were too many messy self-built houses around. The various paths were rough and difficult to walk, and even the wind couldn't blow in. Alex opened his eyes. It was the same as the spawn point when he entered the dream last time. Brick walls, low houses, narrow roads, lanterns, stone tiles, moss. It was still such a dilapidated and poor small village. Is this really still East Sea? Anyway, the city in the first dream was still called East Sea. But is this place still East Sea now? Alex scratched his head. It was hard to confirm for the time being. But he could just ask someone casually. Catch him! Catch the thief! Young man, please help. Behind him, a middle-aged woman's anxious voice came. He turned around. He saw an elegantly dressed ant chasing a running thief, out of breath. The thief was wearing a black hat, cursing, and it was exactly the same one who had stolen the cash box from the old man's canteen last night and killed Alex with a dagger. Can't you steal from another village? Alex was really speechless. This thief was focusing on robbing one village. He stole from the old man's canteen at night and robbed the ant's handbag during the day. Get out of the way. The thief in the black hat elbowed Alex aside and ran towards the path ahead. The ant ran over from behind and grabbed Alex's arm. Young man, I can't run anymore. Can you help me? He had stabbed him to death yesterday. Could he let him run away today? Okay, Aunt, wait here for me. Whoosh. He activated all his parkour skills, jumped left and right on the path, and caught up with the thief with a few wall climbs. Take this! Ah! He kicked the thief to the ground with a flying kick and pressed him down. This time he learned his lesson. Instead of rushing to take the handbag back from the thief, he reached into his waist, pulled out the cold dagger, and threw it far away. Clang, got it. The dagger bounced a few times and rolled down the stone steps. He thought he was safe, but swish. Another half-moon cold light flashed, and the thief actually pulled out another sharp knife from his arms. Dual blades? Fortunately, Alex was prepared and jumped back to dodge. What's wrong with the world these days? CC in the last dream had 2 guns on her. The thief in this dream also had 2 knives on him. Is everyone so insecure? You bastard. The thief grinned, rubbed his neck, which was pressed sore by Alex, and walked quickly towards Alex with the sharp knife in his hand. Is it you who likes to meddle in other people's business? Alex stepped back. Thud, dud. He had nowhere to retreat. There was a dead end behind him. Damn it! The thief's face was ferocious, waving his sharp knife and approaching Alex. I'll teach you a lesson today. Who the hell do you want to teach a lesson to? A loud shout came from the alley next to them. Oh! The pile of firewood stacked at the alley entrance was kicked open with one foot. A fat figure walked out, leading 3 fierce-looking younger brothers behind him. Swish! The leader shook his hand vigorously, and a 1-meter-long telescopic baton appeared in his hand. No. He spat out the cigarette butt in his mouth. The flesh on his face twisted into a ball, staring fiercely at the thief. How dare you steal things in my territory?